What is happening, everybody? Fluffy Puma here.
With the Wild Firebird.
Or.
Jello Gamer.
Or.
Connor.
And this is Mozart.
Okay.
You have a cute little boy.
He loves watching YouTube.
Oh gosh, he does. He'll sit here and watch YouTube with me. And then if he doesn't like it, he'll type in stuff until it goes away. Okay, let's continue with our adventure. I found the table. There's a book on that table. Might as well check it out.
How many journals does one person have?
Hopefully the act of stuffing notes into books is still preferred means of hiding things here. Well, it depends. If you're like... It's in the dark, I can't read it. Let's investigate the book. I hate being right all the time. Yay. Okay, so this is a continuation. It looks like she's only doing it about once a month. Let's see. I inquired with Mr. Atherton about the door to the cellar, which is always locked today. Doesn't make any sense. I should have known by the look on Eve's face that it was in poor judgment. I have never had a man strike me to this day, but I suspect it would be preferable to Edgar Atherton's response. His manic smile and piercing eyes as he invited to show me what the cellar held made my skin crawl. When I declined, he was even more perturbed and told me that I was forbidden to ever go down there. When I asked Eve, she diminished? I don't know. And went to her room. I fear for what goes on down there. Judging from his demeanor, Mr. Atherton has dark tastes in distractions. Let's see. Things have gotten worse as time goes on here. Even Edgar's relationship grows more bizarre by the day. I wake from a dead sleep in the night to check on Eve and the children regularly. I often find them hiding in their toy chests when they are frightened. I sit with them until they nod off and place them back in their beds. I cannot blame the darlings, for I too am scared. Someone walks these corridors at night, slinking from shadow to shadow. At first I thought it was Eve off on some tryst from her loveless marriage, but it is not. Eve is despondent, lost in her books and devices. Edgar still wears the trappings of a charming, dashing, and loving husband, but when the mood strikes him to light is extinguished and his eyes fill with dark intentions. I fear Edgar has enlisted his beautiful wife in all sorts of foul activity. While I cannot imagine that Eve wants any part of his madness, she partakes nonetheless. Part of me wishes to take Eve and the children from this place before something foul befalls them. I think Eve is the, I don't think it's Edgar doing it. I think it's Eve controlling Edgar. We have a cat trying to break down the door. Mary casually asked him why he spent so much time there, and his response was a bit disturbing. Yeah, that was a bit disturbing.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some man try and slap me. The tension between them was definitely mounting early in her tenure with the Athertons. I don't think she should fear for Eve's safety. I think she should. Bitch! Go away. I don't think she likes that I'm looking.
Another spirit in the window.
Yeah, but that's Mary. That's not a good spirit. Okay, so would it be this way? Or maybe this way? Oh, yep.
Cabinet.
In the cabinet. Let's check out the cabinets. Oh, good. There's only two. Let's investigate. The cabinet is unlocked. Then open it. Shoot. Sit down. Dang, that's a lot of missing journal pages. Hope Mary doesn't kill me before I can read these. There's going to be a lot of reading in this episode. Okay, so here's the next month. The night of the dead is upon us, but the Athertons will not partake in such social revelry. Edgar instructed me to keep the children quiet and upstairs and not to answer the door for those in search of treats. He told me this after I had already spent the morning baking of all these little ghouls and goblins. I had hoped to take Eve with me on our rounds, but Edgar had other plans. When evening fell, he requested Eve in the cellar. the one place I am forbidden to go. Damn my curiosity, but his secrets can be seductive, and my loneliness is such a tragic burden. When the children fell asleep, I crept downstairs into the kitchen to see what intrigue the Athertons were engaged in. The sound I heard from beneath the cellar door sent chills down my spine. There was a palpable energy in the air, and the sound of cloth tearing and skin rending. Ugh. I swear I could hear Eve crying out for mercy while Edgar cursed in all manner of unholy obscenities. I cannot say for certain what was going on below me, but I sat by the door as a voyeur would, unable to pull myself from the spot. Both terrified and intrigued, it was then I heard his footsteps from the cellar stairs. I quickly hid around the corner just in time to see Edgar emerge. He was shirtless and covered in marks and blood. He glanced in my direction with a diabolical grin, but took off into the dining room like a man possessed. Eve appeared shortly after, bruised and cut with her dress badly torn. She looked incoherent, like she was lost in a fever dream. The next morning the two awoke as if nothing happened and went about their days as normal. I have since begun to wonder if there isn't more at work here than meets the eye. They sound like sadists.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that's, bad to say, but... That's kind of... What if they took turns, What if he was, punching her and then she was whipping him?
I have a parrot now.
I see this. That's a cute parrot.
The parrot that's going to jump into you.
Yeah. I've got a nice little claw, straight in the back of my back. Read the next page. Oh, it looks like she skipped November.
Oh, we didn't get to read it.
Okay. Edgar's vices seems regarding Eve seem to have driven Mary to the brink of a breakdown. Oh, gosh. Let's see. The past months have been unbearable. She agreed to leave with Eve and the children to bring them all to safety. Edgar discovered the plans to leave. Read the last page. It's probably right before she died. Oh, we can read it. Let's see. The past months have been unbearable. No one in the house is safe. I've spent all my energy to keep the children from harm inside the House of Horrors. There is a curse upon this house, and its evil infects anyone who sets foot inside. Since Halloween, I have done everything possible to avoid Mr. Atherton. He eyes me greedily like a tiger eyes a snake. I lock my door, but awake to find it unlocked from the inside. I wake in horror at night, thinking I will find him hovering over my bed, watching me, or worse. I believed that temper and lust were his main vices, but I was woefully wrong. For weeks, Eve wore marks of shame and abuse on her body, and even the most intimate of spots. Her health and kind facade had decayed, and I had offered to help remove her and the children from the house. She had warned me that Edgar's appetites for evil are voracious,
I think.
but I can no longer stand the way he looks at the twins. Oh, they're twins. I didn't know that. I plan to leave with Eve, James, Emma as soon as possible. Eve tells me that the winter solstice will bring us good fortune. Next day. This is a house of horror. Edgar Atherton walks these walls with murderous intent. His mind has snapped and has somehow suspected my plans to vacate the house with his wife and children. Every exit is locked and all of my fears are revealed to be truths. He is in the walls. This is where he hides, stalking and watching us. I can hear his manic screams. He cries out, addressing me. He knows what I saw. He says I must pray for my voyeurism. Pay for knowing his secrets. Oh, someone must pay. Someone will pay.
Oh.
He claims that the children will be added penalty. That's why she says it. She found out what he was doing and said that she had to pay. Mary attempted to escape with Eve, while Eve hid her children within their toy chest. Aww. Ran to a secret exit within the second floor bathroom while Eve armed herself with a dagger. Ooh. Okay. It seems Edgar murdered the children and Eve. So if we go up there, she's probably going to kill us.
Maybe even let us escape.
Let's see. Eve told me there's a secret exit in the upstairs bathroom that leads Yeah, let's read the last page. That leads out of the manor. She urged me to go and run for help, but I refused to leave without the children. She swore to me that she will keep them hidden in the toy chest. Eve then revealed a dagger she had removed from the cellar. I hope she has the strength to use it on that beast of a man. I touched James' hand and kissed Emma on the head as I placed them in their toy chest. Hide and seek, I tell the twins, to ease their frightened minds. I grabbed hold of Eve's hand and pressed my cheek to hers as I assured her that I would return with the police. Her skin is as cold as death as she stares blankly at the chest containing her children. I'm pretty sure she was dead before then.
Yeah.
I ran from the room into a hall, but from nowhere he appeared, laughing and taunting me while he dragged some sort of blade along the hallway walls. He keeps shouting, "That which is granted must be refilled. He means to kill us all." I darted to the stairs, slamming the second-floor door and into the bathroom. I stand there, staring at my own reflection, fumbling with a mirror frame, in a futile attempt to open the passageway to freedom. In the distance, I can hear Eve shout something unintelligible. Then I hear the twins' tiny voices screaming, and I know I am far too late. There is no escape from Atherton Manor. Oh, man. Everyone will pay for their deaths. Oh.
She's pissed.
That's why she's pissed. Now I understand her anger now. I mean, that's really is a really sad story, you know? Yeah, let's leave the journal. I mean, that really is sad now that I know, you know? Because she wasn't really bad. She cared about Eve and the children. So she's angry because she couldn't save them. She's mad at Mr. Atherton for going crazy and killing everybody. That I understand.
Yeah.
I mean, that really is a sad story. That's not just a... Oh, hey, look, it's Mary. That's Mary. Police ruled death a suicide. Bullshit. It is with great duress that we report a life was lost at the home of Edgar and Eve Atherton. Mary Chaucer, age 23, widow, was found in the upstairs hall washroom dead. Miss Chaucer was a maid, nanny, and cook to the Athertons for almost a year. Miss Chaucer was discovered early yesterday morning by the lady of the house.
What?
I thought Eve was dead. Her body was in disarray, and there was apparent signs of injury. A pair of sewing shears was present at the scene, which is believed to be the cause of death. The local authorities have questioned the Atherton family, and no foul play is suspected. This is not the first unexplained death to have occurred at or involving Blood Manor. Several deaths have been linked to the house. Although the Athertons swear that the house is safe, public suspicion of the couple has grown. At no time has any evidence of sign of involvement been linked to the couple. Eve Atherton called the Blood Manor monarchy a product of imagination and jealousy. It is believed the deceased may have been in a state of mental unrest, melancholy, and hysteria due to the recent death of her mother and her husband, serviceman Anthony Chaucer, last year. Miss Chaucer has no living family, and funeral arrangements have yet to be arranged. So what happened was she came to here after her mother and husband died. She was their nanny, but she was a nanny. The nanny, she fell deep. She loved the children. She liked Miss Eve. Edgar was crazy. She found out that he was hurting people. And then when she actually went to go try and save them, he caught up to her. He probably took the dagger from Eve.
Yeah.
He probably struck her down, took the dagger, found Mary, made it look like a suicide, took the shears, covered them in blood, because back then there was no fingerprints. You couldn't fingerprint anything. He took the shears and made it look like she slit her wrists. That's why she's pissed. She believes that they're dead. I don't think they died, because it says the lady of the house found them.
And she said she heard their screams.
I think Mary's upset because she thought they died. And they didn't. And then I think also she would be pissed because she was not given her just end. They think she killed herself, and it was Mr. Atherton that killed her. I read all that and you're still gonna have to read it. I'm sorry, guys. I just like reading stuff. The bastard stabbed her in the back with these shears and... Oh, okay. Then how would no foul play be suspected if he stabbed her in the back? What, did she back up into the shears? Eve not only survived, but Mary is delusional. Police ruled the death as a suicide. She thinks that they're dead. None of this makes any sense. I am with you on that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's leave the newspaper. I'm sorry, that is fucked up. I mean, I know I've been trying to, she died alone in that bathroom. It's time she found peace.
Next out the bathroom.
Oh, look. Yay! It's saved. Well, guys, I guess we'll leave it here and then we'll go into the bathroom in the next episode. I know that these last 2 episodes were a lot of reading, but it was really important reading.
Yep.
As always, guys, thank you so much for showing up and watching us. I'm Fluffy Puma.
I'm Juan Firebird.
Also.
Jello Gamer.
And
Connor.
And we'll see y'all later.
Yay.
Bye, guys.
Bye.